Colorism refers to discrimination and prejudice towards people with dark and especially darker skin, meaning that people who are mostly negatively impacted by colorism tend to have darker skin, and people with light skin can also be affected by colorism, but they tend to be affected by it maybe in a more positive way, where it serves them. Obviously, in all cases, it is part of a bigger problem. When it comes to racism, when it comes to any form of discrimination, there are always different layers to them. And that means that because a person is Black, for example, doesn't mean that they're necessarily all experiencing the same kind of discrimination. In this society, where a lot of times, if not always, we celebrate and we protect and we honor whiteness over everything, then that means that the closer you are to that whiteness, in terms of, your looks or where you're from or your access to power and all of that, the better off you can be. Meaning a Black person is still a Black person if they're light skinned, for example, but because of this color of their skin and maybe because of their features and the way that they dress and the way that they have their hair and everything, if that makes them look closer to whiteness, or actually be closer to whiteness, if maybe one parent is white, then they can have lots of advantages that their dark-skinned counterparts may not necessarily have. Of course, it doesn't mean that technically a dark-skinned Black person can have a way better life than a light-skinned Black person. Overall speaking, when you show up in this society, when you show up in this world, your skin color carries a lot of privileges with it. A lot of times it's really, really hard for Black people to even get access. But when we see Black people get those accesses, a lot of times those are light skin, right? Also, when we see Black love, and a lot of times when successful Black men, for example, are dating Black women, they tend to also be more on the lighter side. Yes, we're all Black and we should all stick together and we should all be fighting the bigger problem all together. However, it is important to also, I think, understand our position and know when it's our time to center ourselves, when it's our time to maybe shine the light on other people, and to really also understand that even when you're marginalized, even when you're discriminated against, you can still carry some privileges with you. There are layers to everything. You struggling or being hurt or marginalized or discriminated against in one area doesn't mean that you're not marginalized in another. We can only truly win this battle and address everything properly if we are aware of all the different layers and the complexity that issues like that obviously none of us ask for, bring with them. I'm a Black woman, and I also see that somebody like my mother, for example, a lot of times is struggling more. And sometimes the only reason for that is because her skin has more melanin than mine. Like, I've been in places where I was the only Black person, and already I had to deal with so much drama and pain and harassment. So that just makes me feel like, okay, I'm already light skinned, I already have my hair the way y'all probably can handle it. I'm already talking in a way that I'm sure is more suitable for certain white people. And even then it's hard for me. So a lot of times that makes me think, how would it be if I had a different accent, if I was looking different, if my skin color was different, if already the comments that they're making clearly imply that they have an issue with the way I am, so they would probably have a bigger issue if what they're having an issue with would be even more extreme in their eyes. When we look at dating, for example, it's already hard for Black women to date and to find partners, but the darker the women are, whether it's on dating platforms, whether it's out in the bar, it's even harder. Once again, the closer you are to whiteness in this society, the more benefits you probably have. And that doesn't mean you can't be struggling, it just means in a world that focuses and that embraces and that celebrates and that honors whiteness so much and does the absolute opposite with Blackness, means that the closer you are to that, the more benefits you have. There's a reason why a lot of people, from celebrities like Beyonce and even people like me, we wear hair a certain way, we do that and that. It's why you're not out there embracing, your natural afro. There's a reason people do the things that they do. It's not because we maybe hate our features. It's because we grew up in a society that taught us to hate our features and to hate our Blackness. And not just that, but also early on we learned that the less Black we are, the more access to resources we may have and the more luck and privileges we may have. When we do certain things, it's not necessarily that we want to do them, we just have to play the part in order to even get those resources. And I know there are different ways of going about it. Some people will be like, screw the system. There are different ways of going about it. Not everybody has the privilege to say, hey, I'm not going to take that job. Hey, I'm not going to go to university. Hey, I'm not going to try to fit in my corporate job in order to like climb that ladder, because maybe they have to support their family. Maybe they have to do that. Like, we shouldn't judge anyway. I think it's important that we're always aware of those layers. And once again, doesn't mean that somebody's trying to take away from your personal struggles. We have to address the problem exactly how it is. And in order to truly understand our brothers, sisters, siblings, we need to be aware of their struggle. We need to listen to them and also hand the mic over and shine light and support and amplify and uplift people who are even more marginalized. All I'm saying is that society is messed up when it comes to that and many other issues, and we need to tackle them together. Any fight, we can only win together. It's always a good thing to, be looking out and to be cautious and to be respectful and thoughtful towards not just ourselves, but also to other people, especially when they're marginalized. So I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'm sending you lots of love, and thank you so much for watching this video.